I'm still anxious to get to the topic of should you be the bank, right? Should you sell a property and be the bank?
Should you be the bank? And so one of
What
the
does that mean? Should you be the bank?
yeah, no, it's a great question. So meaning you're selling your home and maybe you could become the bank for the borrower. Maybe or the buyer.
For the buyer.
Or in this case be the borrower also, but you become the bank. What we call it here is a seller financing is one term. Another term is, or the vehicle is called a real estate contract. We hear that a lot.
REC.
REC.
We hear REC
that's
a
the
lot.
lingo. Sometimes they call them land contracts in other states, but generally in New Mexico we call them real estate contracts. And what a real estate contract is, or a seller financing deal, is what it is. It's the seller is financing to the new buyer, the new owner of the home, the property.
So does a house or a property that you're selling have to be free and clear, as in you don't have a loan on it, to be the bank?
I am not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole, Tracy, because
Good idea.
Technically, when let me say it this way, you'd want to talk to an attorney about it, a real estate attorney about it. If you have a loan on a property and you're going to be selling it, and you're going to be selling it on a real estate contract, that mortgage now becomes wrapped into the real estate contract. We call it a wrap. That could be a problem for your current lender, because they, in most cases, have what they call a due on sale clause, meaning once you sell the property, you have to pay off that mortgage. So you'd want to consult an expert on that. And I'm not going to touch that one.
Didn't mean to go so deep, but
no,
I just thought it was going to be a good question for our listeners.
It is a good question, and I think the answer is it depends, and you just have to go into it eyes wide open. So both the buyer and the seller.
Right. So let's talk about a property where there's no underlying loan on it, right? A free and clear property.
Easy peasy. Yes.
The benefits of being the owner financed holder, selling with owner financing.
You're getting return on your money. You're getting return on your capital, right? You're getting return on that money. So you sell a property and you cash it out, let's say you don't need that cash to go buy the next property, right? Which is usually the situation. Maybe it's an investment property. Maybe it's part of an estate. Maybe it's whatever. A piece of land could be this way too, where it's free and clear, meaning there's no loan, there's no debt on that property, be it, again, vacant land or a home. And you don't really need that cash in the sense of you're just going to go put it in the bank anyway. Well, if you offer seller financing now, well, first off, in many cases, you can maybe push the sale price a little bit higher, because now you're offering favorable terms to a buyer. Well, now you're also earning interest on that money too. And, these days it depends, but we know mortgage rates have gone up, almost 2 points now just in the last 3 months. So real estate contracts generally are 2, maybe 3 points higher than the going rate. Going rate these days is somewhere around 4.5, 5. So, real estate contract might be 7, 8%. So you're making 7%, 8% on that equity that you had in your home. So
a better way to invest that money, we call it mailbox
money.
Mailbox money. It's if you need that income just every month coming in, somebody's paying off the property you sold to them, and there's a third party in here we highly recommend. So we've got an escrow company, right? Yeah. So to protect you and the buyer pays the escrow company pays you to make sure about the title and whose ownership and things, just to keep it fair.
Yeah, we don't need to get in the weeds on it, but I mean, there's a lot of safeguards in place, so everybody's protected and everybody knows what's going on.
Right. And all the terms are negotiable. So if it's a real house or property that you're selling, obviously it's in the seller's best interest to get a good down payment, right? We want the buyer to take care of the property and have some money out of pocket. And then, but if it's land, sometimes it's low down payment, right? And you just have money coming in, and land doesn't have rent on it for the most part. So it's a good way to have some monthly income if you don't need the money.
So let me offer a scenario where this may make sense for somebody. You've got a rental property, Tracy, and you're kind of tired of being a landlord, right? You don't want to be a landlord anymore. You don't necessarily need to sell the whole property and cash it out. You kind of like having that what we call mailbox money, just money coming in. Um, so you could sell it on a real estate contract. You're still getting your monthly installment. Now you've done an installment sale, right? Now you're getting your monthly income from that sale.
So instead of
But you
from
don't own
rent,
but you don't own the property any longer, right? So instead of getting it from rent where you're responsible for the property, now you're getting the income just from the real estate contract, and you're not responsible for the property anymore.
right, right. And it may be somebody's moved in as a primary residence, or maybe it's still a rental for whoever you sold it to. But in any event, you just get your money. So it's
This whole
pretty
real
nice.
estate contract world is actually it is kind of just like this sub world in the real estate world. And the truth is let me rephrase that. A lot of real estate agents just don't understand it and how it works. And so, if you go down that road, get somebody that is experienced. Like Erica on our team is a pro at this, right?
Right.
I mean, I've done a bunch of them, so I'm pretty familiar with it. But you want to get somebody that really understands how those things work and make sure it's structured properly.